One of the biggest questions on most buyers' minds today is that if the property they choose today will have any demand when they want to exit a few years down the road. The stronger the demand, the bigger the growth in terms of price appreciation, and this will also certainly help to protect the funds that you have put into the property. Hello everyone, my name is Joel Lee from Safe With Property and welcome back to my channel. So today I will be guiding buyers on this very important step they can add into their research so they can determine the future demand for the home they want to commit to. So to explain this, I will be using these two properties in Punggol that are side by side, a treasure trove and Watertown as an example. Although both properties are just one street across, most buyers there will tend to prefer to buy into Watertown for many of these reasons, like being directly connected to a shopping mall and the MRT. In fact, many buyers feel that because of this convenience, it is also a property that will appreciate strongly. And this is how many buyers on the ground actually do their homework today. However, let's dive deeper to look at the numbers. Using the 3-bedders for reference from 2021 to 2022, Treasure Trove's 3 bedrooms have increased from 1,000 to 1,360 PSF. Now looking at the transactions, the buyer who bought into the resale 3-bedroom unit at January 2021 only paid 1.22 million, while today another buyer bought the same unit type for 1.42 million. Now this translates to the earlier buyer making $200,000 in just 1 year. So naturally, with Watertown being a better property, its prices should see a similar or if not better performance. But we can see very clearly here that the similar 3-bedroom type remains stagnant at 1.5 to 1.6 million since 2019. Now this is so for the buyers here in Watertown despite it being a better property. To understand why this is happening and how we can apply it in our research, we have to focus on the factor that affects our demand, the buyer's affordability. So families make up the main profile for the buyers in Punggol area, especially for a 3-bedroom unit type. So with this in mind, we have to also understand that the majority of them move into Punggol by acquiring a BTO directly from the government. And this makes up for almost all the types of homes in Punggol. So a typical family in Punggol would have paid $400,000 for a 5-room HDB back then, and after 5 years be able to sell it in the open market at about $700,000. And this is when they decide to upgrade. So they would have gotten back $300,000 profit plus $100,000 CPF or cash paid into the HDB. And this would give them a total of $400,000 of funds to utilize for their upgrade. So let's take the first scenario of the family buying Treasure Trove at $1.2 million back then. The 25% down payment and stamp for $1.2 million property would only cost them to set aside $332,000. Now today the prices for Treasure Trove have risen to 1.4 million and the down payment will cost $390,000. And this is still well within the $400,000 proceeds that the majority of the typical family can afford. So the affordability is still very well within the range for these buyers, and that is why there is strong demand that allowed its prices to jump from 1.2 to 1.4 million. Now coming back to Watertown scenario, if a family were to go for a unit there, it would cost them 1.6 million. And the down payment will cost them $448,000. In fact, this is actually doable as the family would have had some savings they can tap into. But a concern arises when they are also looking to make the same $200,000 profit as Treasure Trove and having to sell it at $1.8 million this time. So this will mean that the future buyer have to fork out $506,000 just for a 3-bedroom down payment, and this would actually prove to be a big dent in their savings and will hinder many from going for a property at Watertown. So this explains very clearly why the prices of the 3-bedroom in Watertown have stagnated since 2019 until today despite the rise in property prices throughout the country. So to sum up, Treasure Trove was a good choice for the 3-bedroom, which brought a lot of advantage for the buyers. However, this is not the case for the smaller units. Now, while the 3-bedrooms increased by $200,000, its 2-bedroom unit barely moved at all in terms of prices. In fact, the price remained at $900,000 from 2021 to 2022. And that's actually the same period the 3-bedrooms prices jumped in pricing. Looking at Watertown's smaller 1+ study units, its prices however increased by $120,000 from $780,000 to $900,000 in the same period when Watertown's 3-bedroom remained the same. Now, as the smaller units are mainly targeted by the investors, the numbers are extremely important to them. So rental yield is one of them. A quick scan shows both Treasure Trove 2-bedroom and Watertown 1+ study units actually fetch the same rental range of $2,500. With Treasure Trove at $900,000 fetching $2,005 rental versus Watertown's $780,000 fetching $2,005 rental, it was a very clear choice for the investors, and that is why the demand fell onto Watertown's smaller units and pushed its prices up to $900,000 today. So while Treasure Trove favoured the big units, Watertown actually favoured the small units. And this is to show you that not every unit type behaves the same way in every project. In fact, every project has different characteristics to look out for, and this plays a very vital part in your future exit options. So of course, why we are doing all this is only to ensure that while we are looking for a nice place to live in, we may not know what the future holds for us, and there may come a time that we would like to swap our homes for something else. And by then, having done all this homework will allow us to have many more options to choose from, especially when we have protected our capital and even made some money out from it. Now, this above is one of the key research that I add on for my clients to ensure they have a head start in their property decisions. And I hope you have learned a thing or two here. So if you have any questions regarding this, or you want me to analyze any other projects, feel free to drop me a message. My name is Joel Lee from Safe with Property, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.